this for most of my life.
And cats and boots and cats.
I was born a screaming potato.
I was born at 8'7" without a face.
Yeah.
And welcome back to the 7 Star to the Right podcast.
Ooh.
I'm your host, Jeff. How's everyone doing?
Good.
Good.
There was a real ASMR vibe to your opening today, Jeff.
Hello.
I'm your host, Jeff.
It felt pretty good.
Welcome to the Smooth Jazz Station.
Smooth jazz.
WNBA.
What do people remember from last session?
God, Jeff.
So little.
So very little.
So very little. No, we're finally going to go see Dorian Gray.
Yeah.
See the man with the thing in the attic.
We're looking for the man.
That makes it sound a lot worse.
The
Is it
man
worse
with the
than it's
painting
gonna
in
be?
the attic.
I don't know.
Yeah. You're going to go see the guy because that's definitely how that's going to go. And also, as mentioned last time, this is probably not actually a dude because the name's been passed on multiple times. Is that this guy or is that something else?
That's
That is
okay.
Dorian Gray. Yeah.
Okay. So just side note, Kirsten Theory is totally the same dude. It's 100% the same dude. And he's just pretending to have passed it on. Like every 100 years or so, he just gets a haircut and is like, behold, I am the new Dorian Gray. So that's the theory I'm currently
Like
running
those
with.
vampires in Twilight. or something.
Exactly. You just move towns, you kind of dye your hair, and then maybe adopt a slightly different accent. And you're like, hello, it's me, I'm new. So that's what's going on there. Definitely 100%.
I will say there have been, I don't know if Davis specifically said this, but the conversation definitely would have come up. The people that Dorian Gray have been very different people. It's sometimes a man, sometimes a woman, sometimes different.
Sometimes a bear man.
Sometimes a bear man. No, I don't think it's ever been a bear man.
Yep.
Glass ceilings.
I'm still well, bears should be able to deal with glass ceilings quite well, actually, I feel like. But anywho.
Have you ever been to a zoo?
Do you see how thick they have to make the fucking glass?
All right. I'm hearing a whole lot of banter, but not a whole lot of what happened last session.
Just-
We got it. What else is there? What are you talking
You
about?
didn't say anything.
Micah
Oh.
did yoga. That's all I did.
Yeah,
Oh, there
so-
you go. That was the thing that
The
happened
big
last
thing,
session.
on the side of a cliff, I believe. Like not next to a cliff,
Oh, yeah,
like
on the
literally standing on the cliff wall sideways because
I mean, sometimes you just got to
you're
flex,
a drama
you know?
queen.
Because fuck yeah.
Because
It was a great time.
Uh-huh.
That's you got
We
it.
went and
That's
picked
it.
up the ship.
There you
Nona
go.
learned a new deception technique, which was awesome.
Just talk at someone so much
Until they
they're
just leave you
annoyed.
alone.
Yes.
She's very excited to try this out on Davis. Davos, my bad. I always get that wrong. There's vowels places.
Yeah, there are vowels
Fuck me.
places.
Bleep that out later, please. Anyway, so that happened. Everybody else noticed that the Calvin estate was called the Calvin estate except for Nona, and Nona was very disturbed by this fact. And then she was like, well, now it's time to get back to my mission. So she spent most of a day researching and now has a list of various properties, mostly space things, I think, acquired by, but like just various like labs and stuff bought by Dr. Samantha Calvin, most likely in various locations that she intends to go check out sometime after we deal with this immortal
Yes.
shape-changing bitch.
And I've given you an actual physical list of all of these different places with all
That
their
you
different
have.
names. And I think at the end of last session, I didn't find it in my notes, but it is Cal Reed Robotics,
That is correct.
as in Calvin and Reed Robotics.
They're not very clever.
Oh, stop it.
Just mushing names together.
It's like GlaxoSmithKline. So
I don't know. It was just a funny word. I've got no idea what
You
you're
guys-
talking about.
Nope.
sorry, GSK. It's a pharmaceutical company that
Oh.
combined 3 separate names together.
Okay. You're-
Anyway,
That was real.
You're-
Yes,
Zero for
GlaxoSmithKline
three
is a
on that
real
one.
Whose last
company.
name is Glaxo? That person's an alien. That's why they're so good at pharmaceuticals.
Oh, I think he cracked it.
I'm cracking everything today. I'm cracking
Cracking
the story
it right open.
I'm cracking Big Pharma.
So yeah, that was those were the major points that happened, and I had all of that sort of take over an entire day. So you guys had a night to sort of settle up and get ready for however you're going to go out and find Dorian Gray. So right now, all you guys have to really go on are the assassination attempt happened in Jade, which is a city in the on the continent of Korstia. Korstia is a small-ish continent, actually closer to an island than one would argue a continent. That's the tourist trap, the tourist attraction location. So it is, I don't think, Micah, you would have really ever been there. The arm of the Children of the Silence is a lot stronger there than it is in Strania.
Yep.
So
yeah, I don't think I've been there.
yeah. And Alex, I believe that's the same for you as well. So you guys have never been to this location, but you can probably reasonably assume that just generally, considering the fact it also has like non-Orsimian tourists there, that security would be a little bit tighter and shenanigans would be a little less allowed than in perhaps Breeze.
What?
I love my shenanigans.
When have we ever gotten into shenanigans, Jeffrey?
So, yeah, I'm going to start this off because I don't quite remember where we left off. Do you guys remember?
We had gathered like in the room and we're literally just kind of deciding, yeah, we're going to go try to find Dorian Gray now.
All right, so let's start off there. It is that night, and you probably wouldn't go out in the middle of the night, but you are discussing how to go forward with searching out Dorian Gray. Davis and Ellie are staying the night as well, and they're going to be heading out the next morning. So if you guys have any questions for them or for Isis and the rest of Micah's group, you can reach out to them as well. They're all in their own little cottages hanging out. And see.
Yeah, I ain't
Cool.
talking to that man.
I know you're not.
He scares me.
Yeah.
All right. So I think one of the first things that Alex is going to try to do is like try to find some kind of paper or whatever kind of scraps, napkins that he can get together. He's going to go, okay, so what do we know about the international super spy? They, just say they for now.
Yep.
They contacted that man, Von McQuaven. Somehow we have a note from them. Do we have the note? Did we give that to anybody?
I think were you holding on to it, Nona, or
I thought
was Zuri?
Zuri had
Okay.
Zuri?
Zuri had the note.
Where's Zoe?
Yeah.
In the other cottage. You could easily get them.
We'll go.
No.
We'll follow up with Zoe, and he
Do
writes
that
down.
later.
He writes down.
Yeah.
Follow up with Zoe.
With one of those little boxes next to it that could be checked off.
It's like,
Action
okay, so over
item,
here I'm going to have
follow
the
up
Alex
with
and
Zoe.
Alan to do follow up with Zoe.
Yep.
Okay, good. We try to find the note. Let's just go over that and see what it says. Where did that note happen? And did Von speak to Dorian Gray before that, or was it he saw the note and then immediately tried to go find the general man?
Well, I wasn't there when it happened, but I don't think that he never told us about talking to Dorian Gray before.
So just to refresh people's memories about the timeline of events. So everyone except for Micah was in the hideout that you guys visited in Breeze. Vaughn got this note in the mail.
After he'd had like a dream.
This was before the dream.
Before the dream.
They saw the note. They wrote it off as something weird and something to sort of think about, but they weren't making any quick decisions, Vaughn, Zuri, or any of the rest of the group. And that night, Vaughn had a vision that he didn't necessarily go into, but effectively said that he believes this letter and that he is going to go and meet with this person. And by doing that, this would break the whole sort of civil war wide open. Nothing really specific as to what exactly this bombshell information would be or what kind, the nature of the information itself. But Vaughn was gone the next day, and a few days after that is when everything started to go to shit.
Got it.
The assassination attempt happened, and the rest of the group got captured.
We also have a little bit of a new piece of information because the note had the word, whatever your thing, Nona.
Nona says the word.
Yes. Okay. Got it.
Everyone's brains is very itchy.
I don't like that ability. It might be useful in certain situations. Just like,
Nona will remember this.
I don't want to be in earshot of it if I can help it. But the word was on the note. So somebody had to have known the word well enough to write it down on the note, which means that there is some kind of connection some kind of point-to-point connection that can be drawn between this note and your cultists, Micah.
Yes. My broader umbrella group.
Yeah. Not you, not these people, not the good people, but the cultists.
Yeah, that is what they are. Right. So that is interesting. I was thinking I can at least try and poke around on my dark web forums that I go on.
Okay.
I can ask around about this Dorian Gray, see if anyone could give us maybe a bit of a better lead so we aren't just flying over into Korstia.
Yeah,
blind.
Absolutely.
Reddit.com/r/. Yeah, could you make I'm going to say a charisma connect check then?
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to do
Connect with
charisma
the internet.
Yeah, connect to people over the internet.
Hey guys,
roll for no typos.
It's me, XX Yoga Master 69.
That's an 11.
Okay, yeah. So reaching out to this group of people that you sometimes talk to, just sort of the talking to people who don't necessarily want to be seen by the Orsimian government. There's a bunch of chatter back and forth. Dorian Gray is definitely a bit of a mystery and to some extent a legend, just because of the nature of the name, how long they've been around, what some of the things that they've done. A lot of people say that it's not really you don't really reach out to Dorian Gray. Dorian Gray reaches out to you, like that kind of deal. That there seems to be some kind of method in which this person or organization chooses the people that they are going to work with. But there is a recent comment that you see that it appears that for some reason Dorian Gray behaved this particular way for so long as most people can remember, because this name has been around since basically the Scream, which has been like 600 years. There's been a recent change in the method in which Dorian Gray seems to be talking to people. And it seems that they're being a little less selective now, particularly in and around the city of Jade in Korstia, which is the same location that you're aware the assassination attempt happened. Beyond that, it seems like there's a whole slew of theories about how they choose people. There's like one story where the Dorian Gray shows up to person who they believe to be worthy and like gives them some secret code that they can use. There's other ones that like, they have a whole network and you do like a dead drop in a specific location, get a hold of them. And there's another one that says like Dorian Gray hands out these pre-tech artifacts that you use as almost like a beacon in order to get a hold. It's just, there's a lot of these different theories. It's a whole lot of mystery that's surrounding this person. And a lot of it also seems to be backed up by legend and stories.
Well, I've got a great and terrible idea. So check this out.
I will relay this to you two, obviously, so go for it. Wow.
This is Kirsten thinking out loud because Nona would not come up with this. But say we take our pre-tech guns or whatever, like we go to this tourist trap place and we fire them in the air while shouting the random torch word.
I bet someone will notice. Yeah.
I bet we'd get some from that.
That will definitely get someone's attention.
Covers 2 out of 3 of your things. Secret code word and pre-tech things is a beacon. How are you gonna be more of a beacon than firing a gun directly up into the air? That's what I'd like to know.
In the meantime, Alex like leans into the screen like an old man. Is like, wow, less than 3. Dorian Gray has a lot of information on him. It's very. What does this mean, though? Less than 3. God, I don't.
Go through their post history.
Oh no! Don't go through the post history.
Ooh, what's this for him?
Great. So
Yeah. So, all right. I mean, that's something. Looks like city of Jade is, I mean, yeah, a better place to start than the whole continent of Corstia. So we could get started going there. That's kind of where it seems like they're being the most active.
yeah, that's
And I don't know, maybe well, as far as the pattern of who Dorian Gray reaches out to, if it's like less selective now, is there anything we could glean about like they reach out to particular people who've like made a name for themselves or just like randos?
It definitely the people that they generally work with are certain criminal families. It doesn't seem like they do a whole bunch of legitimate work. A lot of the work that Dorian Gray seems to do is cloak and dagger, sabotage, robbery, the occasional assassination. I dabble
fraud.
in assassination, you know.
Does Cyril Sharpclaw have any rivals that we know of? Because we could go get in real good with them.
You're thinking of Cyrus Doltooth.
Oh,
They don't get along.
oh no!
You know what? I'm gonna have it as Nona asks this. Micah, can you roll an just an intelligence note check to see if you remember anything around any person that Cyril might have beef with.
8.
So you remember a little bit of something. There is a Torque by the name of Zip that lives in Jade. It seems Zip is a bit of a small-time guy right now, but is trying to effectively block Cyril out of his own sort of drug empire industry. While Cyril, most of his influence is located within Breeze, he has people and informants all around Orsimian, and it seems Zip is a bit of an upcomer with his own chemist trying to figure out and corner the market around Jade, maybe then Corstia, and then generally go from there.
World.
That's the biggest one that you can think of. Cyril is also a part of a larger group of an Ursum mafia that sort of scatters around Orsimian, although you would expect most of them are pretty cordial with one another. They sort of draw the lines and say, we work here, you can work there, and split up things that way, whereas Zip is very clearly trying to make his own place, and it's directly within Cyril's area that he distributes to.
All right. Yeah, I heard about this one Torque called Zip. Maybe we could get in touch with them and establish some kind of relationship, mess with Cyril some more, which I'm personally all here for. And yeah, maybe through them we can get a hold of this Dorian.
Right. Yeah. So we want, and Alex is like, has like a people column and like a location column.
Yeah.
So it'll be like Zip is under people, and that's connected to Jade under locations. Like he has like lines that are really going.
Nice.
Right. So yeah, base of operations, go to Jade. Action item, talk to Zoe. Just gonna keep saying it so that we do not forget. And this, do we want to try to talk to Davos about the mind static and how it got on the note? If he has any operatives in Jade that might have sent something there, if this Dorian Gray is active, then the letter might have come from Kostia.
Yeah, can't hurt.
Yeah. Micah? Would you do that? I
sure.
don't want to talk to him.
That's
Just
fine.
a little, yeah.
We do not care
Yeah.
for this man.
No,
man
it
is,
seems well-meaning. They weird me out a little bit too, but I can talk to him.
Okay. Cool. Is Claire around? This is totally random, but it's like...
she's sitting at the table just twirling her thumb. She doesn't have anything really to add
Cool. Okay.
I think going to Jade is a good idea.
Thank you, Claire.
Claire, go to sleep. You turn into Mickey Mouse when you're tired.
No, that's it. We're going to Sapphire. Just to F with Jeff.
And Jade is a city, a proper one, yeah, like Breeze. So they'll probably ask what we're doing there, and are we motorcycle salesmen still? Or
Well, we have
Is,
half the motorcycles left.
Real quick, can I have you guys all of you do an intelligence no check? Actually, no, sorry. You this is the first time you've been on this planet.
This is true. It is. I'm doing it just for fun.
Okay.
6.
Alex?
give me a second. I'm adding 8.
Alex, you would remember this from some of your time on Orsimian. So the city of Jade is also unique in its structure. It is a lot closer to an assortment of small islands rather than a single city with like a city wall around it in one plateau like Breeze is. Jade has a bunch of these different small-ish peaks that poke up out of the sea. It is actually close to the sea, so it's not a river. And there are a bunch of bridges to each and one of these, but there's probably on the order of like 10 or 20 islands that sort of make up the city of Jade. One of the other things that you would probably be aware of is due to the nature of the sensitive nature of Jade and like tourist and still being as part of a civil war, there's a lot more checking when it comes to who goes in and out when it comes via air, but via ship, there's a lot less security.
So when you say ship, like
You mean
water ship,
boat.
Yeah,
water
like
boat,
a boat.
boat.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm very pro us not flying the ship into a heavily. We have so many guns.
No, yeah, no, I'm happy to do that. But
Sounds a lot safer, yeah.
it's just a thing. I'm glad we decided and we talked before we just kind of drove up and we're like, hello. Okay, great. So we'll park and we'll try to get a ferry into Jade. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different continent. If we were gonna just like set off from around where we are, how long of a boat trip might that be?
it would probably take a day or two.
Okay.
It's not too bad.
Yeah.
We could also fly over to Kostia and hide the ship somewhere, perhaps, and then get the ferry. But again, not important. And then he has a questions column that's just his travel question mark. Okay, anything left? I have action items. Talk to Zai, talk to Davos.
Yeah, that works.
Okay, good talk. I'm going to go burn these notes now so that nobody can find them.
So, Micah, are you going to do that right now?
Yeah, I'll go talk to Davos.
So as you go to reach for the door and everyone's still sitting at the table, Alex about to light up the notes, you hear a knock on it. And as you open the door, you see a stout old lady standing in front of you saying, is there a Nona here?
Maybe.
Alex lights the paper on fire. He just has a bowl with fire in it now.
I'm going to look over and say, hello, yes, I'm Nona.
Oh,
Yep.
hello. May I come in?
Oh, sure. Yeah, of course. Come on.
Thank
in.
you. And she does her little old woman shuffle. And this is a woman that's probably in her late 70s, early 80s.
Great, I'll get her a chair. And while I am doing that, say, and you are?
My name's Joyce. Nice to meet you. I am the great aunt of Lynn, who I believe you've talked to. Hello.
Hey, please pull up a chair. Warm yourself by the fire. We were getting cold.
It's just a little merrily burning away in front of it.
It's so bad.
I don't mean to intrude, but I heard you were looking into a great ancestor of ours, a great so on aunt of ours that we live on in this estate. Couple months back, a similar gentleman asked the same question. Actually, a man by the name of what is it? Deacon was his name. He asked very similar things. Checked out very similar books to yourself here, and he actually left something. And she reaches into her little cardigan and pulls out what is a like a little canvas pouch that has a string around it that looks like it would be like worn around the neck. So
Sweet.
a necklace with then like this little canvas pouch on the end. He left it a couple of months back and has never came back for it. And I figured if you're going to be tracking down the stations similar to what he was doing, maybe you would run into him. So I was wondering if you run into him, you could maybe give it to him.
Yeah, I would be happy to do that.
And she smiles at that and says, "Excellent." And she hands this to you.
Right.
When you first take it from her, there's definitely something within this pouch.
Huh.
You can't see what's in it because it's in a pouch, but
Oh, no, pouch.
there's a thing within it. And she says, "Well, sorry to intrude. It was lovely meeting you all." And she scoots back up from the table and starts making her way towards the door.
I am going to wait until she leaves to open the pouch, for we are a secret.
You're not going to ask her anything more about this man or anything?
Yeah, you know what? That is probably a good idea. So yeah, I will actually call after her then and say, excuse me, could you actually tell me more about this deacon person?
Oh, well, certainly. He was a dashing young man, tall, strong. He had black hair and a short trimmed beard. Don't quite remember the face. Oh, he also wore a wedding band around his neck, something that I thought was a little strange being so young and already having lost someone.
And did he ask any additional questions? Stuff that I maybe didn't think of?
There was apparently a very specific station that he was interested in, one by the name of Asimov 1.
Of course.
But other than that,
That was foreboding.
very, 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 very similar. Looking up locations that Samantha Calvin bought and did her work in.
Well, if I see him, I will be certain to pass this on. Thank you.
Excellent. Well, it was very nice meeting you all. And she closes the door behind her.
Yeah. Let me get.
I
the
don't
door.
trust her.
I don't trust her. I guess we have to kill this old lady.
I don't think she's good. I think she might be Dorian Gray.
Shit, that needs to be Dorian Gray somehow. Jeff, rewrite the universe.
Alex gets another napkin and he writes down Joyce and then connects it to Dorian Gray. And then what does it question
Catches
item?
on fire.
And then he puts action item, ask Lynn if Joyce exists. And then he throws it right into the fire.
Fantastic. Well, now I guess I open this pouch thingy then, because I do not believe in the concept of privacy.
So you open up this pouch, and what you see within it is interesting, to say the least. What you see is a crystal of some kind, a blue crystal, but one that is completely shattered. It shattered in a couple of pieces. It's not like a portion of dust or anything like that. But can you make an intelligence snow check for me, please?
Okay.
You know an intelligence. You're good at intelligence.
Yeah, but just watch. Fire dice have not been rolling so hot for me.
Funny.
Yep, that would be a 4.
You can't quite place what this is made out of.
Cool.
Kyber.
It's made out, dude. It made out of me.
I've seen Nona
Actually,
handle
yeah,
her soul stone.
Could
check
Micah
to
just
piece
be
that
like,
together?
Yeah, so
assuming that's what it is.
The things you killed Gamora for.
You guys have seen Nona's crystal. This is
Oh,
oh.
sorry.
Not without her permission.
Not a what's the word? Entendre. It's your literal crystal.
Yep.
This has, just like the structure of it is definitely different.
Hmm.
You wouldn't be surprised if it's something along these lines, but you've seen two true AI before. You've seen Quinn and you've seen Nona, who's standing here before you. And the structure of the crystals is always a little bit different. This could just be a normal pouch of like some gemstone that was important to someone, but you would not be wrong in being suspicious that it seems like it could be something that came off of a true AI's core.
Cool.
But you can't be certain.
That's fine.
You might need to do some tests in order to verify that, because
Okay.
you are aware, Nona, that metadimensional energy is something like, in order for true AI, there's some metadimensional energy that's sort of forced through these kinds of crystals.
Sure.
So perhaps it would interact in a special way when in the presence of metadimensional energy. But you can't be for certain that this is a core of a true AI.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to mess with it too much now. But yay, we have this now. Da-na-na-na.
I have a quick question. When we went to Kyle Reed's office back on the space station just a few days ago, was the door locked?
The door was welded shut,
The door
in
was
fact.
welded shut.
And Dr. Kyle Reed was missing a
Yes,
wedding.
the wedding band. Yes, very good.
Yep.
Okay, so, all right. Yeah, no, that's it. I just could not remember if it was locked or.
I am right. That was welded shut.
It was welded
Because we
shut.
had to like
It was
break it down.
It was welded
and-
shut from the outside.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just trying to put an age on this person. Fun, good times. Okay,
All right.
all right. Yeah, Micah, if you want to talk to Davos, we can go find Zoe.
Yep.
I'm going to wait until this fire burns out completely. You know, fire safety. But then I'll go.
Smokey the Bear thanks you. Smokey the Ursum, I should
Sorry.
say.
I will head out to find Davos.
Okay. So you're aware of the cottage that Davos is staying in. You knock on the door, and Ellie's actually the first one to answer. Like, oh, hey, Micah, what's up?
Hey, Ellie. Yeah. Actually, you might know this just as well, but I was wondering if Davos is around. Wanted to chat with you guys a little bit about this Dorian Gray fellow we're trying to track down.
Sure. Yeah, he's meditating up in his room. I can take it to him.
All right. Don't want to bother him if he's busy. I'm not sure exactly how y'all are with that, but if
He's
it's-
been doing it for 2 hours now. He can
good.
take a break.
That's probably enough. Yeah.
And she leads you up into the room. She knocks on the door. You hear a come in, and he is sat cross-legged, back and chest fully like straight up from the ground, arms just sort of laying down in front of him. And he says, "Oh, hello, Micah. What can I help you with?"
Hey, Davis. Yeah, so our little troop is thinking we're gonna probably head out to Jade over in Corstia pretty soon. We're looking for Dorian Gray. So before we go and deal with him and try to find him, there was the letter that we know Vaughn got, and this word that you were able to hear that Nona also had, and Zuri. Could you tell me more about that? Do you know what that was?
He takes a moment and says, "That is the name of a watcher of sorts. I believe we went over this a little bit in our first meeting, but they are born of the metadimensional energy that flows through us. They are born from the source itself. Many people cannot perceive the presence of this group. Only people who are truly engaged with the source and feel it running through them, unblocked, unchained, can perceive these beings.
So it's a name of like a person, not quite a person, like a, I don't know if I understand.
It is difficult to understand. I have not met with one myself. They are merely shadows, from what I understand, but there are those who say that they see shapes, creatures that do not appear to be of this world or even this universe.
Is this something that your area of the Acolytes deals with a lot? Do you know why Dorian Gray would be using this word or this name?
He takes a sigh at that and says, I do not. This group, they are merely watchers. They perceive and see what is going on. They've never interacted with us, as far as I'm aware, as to why they would be important to someone who is not a follower of the faith. I would not know.
Can I check to see if I think he's being truthful?
Yeah. Can you roll a charisma notice check? I think is the best way to do this.
Okay. 7.
There's something about the way that he's dancing around the topic that they are, they're watchers and they don't really like interfere with people. That there's some, he seems like he's leaving something out. He's not maybe necessarily lying outright, but he is not strictly being fully like sincere with what he's saying. You feel like he's holding back something.
All right. I'm going to say, all right, that is good to know. I mean, you know, we're going to head out there and possibly be dealing with whatever that is and with this Dorian Gray pretty soon. If there's like anything else that might be useful or important for us to know, it would definitely be helpful to us if anything comes to mind there.
I would certainly say be careful of Dorian Gray. They have a knack when it comes to making what seems to be correct and true false. They live in the shadows, and they live for confusion and death to some extent. Do not trust them.
Yeah. Spooky. I'll keep it in mind.
Happy Halloween to you too.
Anyway.
Good,
Yeah.
Jared. Please tell me he did that.
He did that little laugh at the end.
reason.
That's his
Sorry, that was a cough.
That's the meditation breathing.
Finger guns. Okay.
You just breathe in.
Well, all right. Yeah, that's helpful. That's definitely helpful. All right. Well, yeah, thanks, Davis. And I'll leave you to your meditation and wish us luck, I guess.
Anytime you need to talk to myself or Ellie, you have a way to contact me. Vaughn was a good friend, and I would very much like to know what happened in those moments.
Yeah. Well,
Before I killed him.
Sorry, just the breathing again.
of course. Yeah.
God damn it.
See, this is why I didn't join the cult.
I'm glad you didn't. You would be insufferable.
All right. I'll tell you. Yeah, we'll be in touch. Take it easy. And I will head out.
Okay.
So for Alex's part, he's gonna wait until the fire is like, the paper's totally down to ash and nothing's legible. He kind of like runs his hand through it and crumbles up whatever pieces of paper is left, and he rubs his hands together and says, "Okay, I probably didn't need to burn the notes, but it felt necessary."
I was hoping that we could at least have done the action items before
I remember what the action items are.
removing all trace of them, but sure.
They are burned into my memory.
Oh!
Sorry, I'm trying. I'm trying out meditation. All right. Claire, Nona, do you want to go talk to Zoe, or it's getting a little late? Maybe I don't know what time it is.
It's like after dinner, but before like.
We're very old. We go to bed around 7.
No. Oh, then everyone's asleep.
except for Alex and Nona, neither of which are sleeping currently. But
It's evening, but you would expect most people to still be up.
go.
All right.
Yeah, I will come with.
Yeah.
No?
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go. To Zoe.
Can I bring Argos?
Why are you guys looking at me? Why? Yeah, sure. Go, yeah.
I didn't know.
That's fine.
Narrator, it was not fine.
Maybe he has questions for Zoe. I don't know. Argos?
He just tilts his head to the side.
Good. Okay.
As long as he
great.
doesn't start up that danger, Will Robinson shit again.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger.
Nova, what did I just say?
All right. Okay, let's go.
We do that.
So you guys make your way over to the cottage that the rest of Micah's group is staying in and knock on the door. Zuri is the one to answer. They say, hey guys, what's up?
Hello. My name is Alex. No. Yeah, we were wondering if you had the note that we got from Vaughn. We are going to try to hunt down Dorian Gray. I don't remember if you were there for that decision, but we kind of want to look at the paper. We think it came from Kostia. We just kind of want to see it again.
Yeah, I can definitely get that for you guys. And they leave the door open as they go farther into the abode, and they start rummaging through a backpack and pull out the note that you guys have seen and hand it over to you. It says, yeah, can definitely read what it says now.
Yeah, all of it?
Yep.
Great.
Silly question that I may have asked before that I don't actually remember the answer to, but there's the normal note, and then there's sort of the mysterious word signature at the bottom, right?
Yeah, so there's I can't quite remember everything that it says, but effectively it says, go to Jade and Korstia, Dorian Gray will meet you there.
Yeah.
And then has in different font this sort of scribbled at the bottom.
Okay, that's what I thought I remembered hearing, but it's been a while. So yeah, they're different font. That's good to know.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, that's one of the things I was gonna check right now. So just one font that's like the main message, and then the word on the bottom is different.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like Alex will like open it. It says, "Do you think Dorian Gray is the kind of person who talks in the first person?"
I was just wondering that exact
I feel like
same thing.
it's very possible, honestly. Yes, Dorian Gray will meet you there. Zoe, when were you able to? Well, I guess you haven't really heard this word or read it before, but when did you start learning about this religion? When did you start delving into it?
Yeah. So growing up, as a psychic on Orsiame is not great. One of the reasons why I joined the cause, but there's something about I don't know, just being part of the chosen people, and not seeing this as a burden, but seeing this as a way to really connect with something greater than myself. I don't know. I've never been like I've never practiced before, but in that moment I needed to help my friends, and at the same time it allowed me to sort of feel a little bit what Davis was talking about, just letting the thing that I've tried to stop from destroying myself just flow through me. And I felt that connection that he talked about. And I don't know, it just feels right.
Absolutely. You don't have to defend your choice for me at all. I mean, what does anybody want really besides a sense of belonging?
Not dying's usually good.
Yeah, that's also part of the religion thing, though. Sense of belonging and sometimes not dying. Kind of nice.
It's not, there's like the physical death, but the whole idea is when you do this, you are transferring who you are across into the source itself. You're becoming more than what you were or are now.
That's interesting.
Yeah, no, I felt that a little bit, and I don't know if I'm going to keep practicing, but it's something that I'm going to think about. Yeah,
that's great. Yeah. Did you talk to Davis about this, or was there anybody else that you?
I read some pamphlets. I've never met Davis before, but I have had some conversations with him.
Do you have another one of those pamphlets? Can I see one?
Yeah, certainly. And they go to their still open backpack and they start rummaging around in it, and they pull out this this well-worn brochure that's very clearly been. It's fairly old. It's not something that they just recently got and shoved into their backpack. This is something that they got months or maybe even years back. You can see creases and folds and all of that. And very clearly they've been reading over it quite a bit. And they hand this over to you. And it says on the top, getting closer to the source. And you start reading through it. And it's a lot of what Davis has been spouting and a lot of what Zuri has been saying. This whole idea of there is this source, this font that all of this metadimensional energy sort of flows through. And by torching yourself in controlled ways, not just completely going off the rails, allows you to get closer and closer to this inevitable source. And ideally, a full-time practitioner would eventually get to the point where they leave their mortal coil effectively and join this source. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of this whole idea behind it.
Cool. Yeah, Alex kind of like looks it over. He's primarily looking for any kind of contact information, like if there is like even just kind of a suggested meeting place or something. I doubt it, because then the silence would be able to go to that place if they got a hand on it for sure. But after a little bit of kind of like looking around, I was going to say, no, I don't want to take this from you if it's important. It looks like you've been going very far into it.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
No, absolutely. I just wanted to give it a look over. It's, again, I don't know if religion has ever really been for me in any kind of state, but it's interesting to learn about and kind of, I'm not adverse to the idea. But yeah, thank you for sharing.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, great. We got the note. And kind of like looks over. Nona, Claire, Argos, anything here?
No, I'm good.
All right.
Bark.
Nona non-committally shrugs. She does not have interest in this right now.
And did you get the pamphlet on this continent or Kostia? Have you ever been around there?
I got it on Strania. I'm from Strania. There was a bit of an underground meeting, and they were handing out some pamphlets, and it got me interested in, the whole shebang, the acolytes of the end, the Civil War, and wanting to stand up for myself.
How did you find the underground meeting?
Just whispers. There's a lot of internet boards that are kind of hard to track that is useful to meet with like-minded people. And yeah, it's not the safest thing, because if I can find it, a silence operative can as well. But try and keep it hush-hush, only talk to who you know kind of deal.
Yeah. Well, thank you for trusting and for letting us know. See you later.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Bye.
Bye.
It was nice talking to you.
You too. Bye. Oh God, I don't know how to walk away from conversations.
It's been a long day.
It's very hard. Okay, let's go just meet Micah again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys went your separate ways to have these different meetings. Meet up back at the cottage. I assume you exchange this information. Anything else that you guys want to do before heading out? There was one more action item asking Lynn if Joyce is real. Are you actually going to do that?
Alex isn't gonna like go out and find Lynn and like hunt her down, but if he
But
sees
we'll
Lynn,
keep
he'll
this in
ask.
mind.
Yeah. If we go into town.
I
If we're-
haven't heard that name in 15 years.
Goddamn ghosts. Yeah, and I'm going to mention, in case it becomes relevant later, it seems like whether he realizes it or not, this deacon person is looking for me.
Oh, okay.
The
Guess, yeah.
Asimov one is where I was created.
Oh,
But that is not still functional, right?
Yeah, the last time I checked, it was very much on fire and going down. I don't know if one goes down from deep space going sideways.
You did some research. Were you able? Was the Asimov one on your thing? Was
The Asimov one is on my list. Yes, there are,
in the correct spot?
as far as I understand it.
Yeah.
Yes,
All right. So
it's intriguing to me though because I don't. Looking at this list, I don't have any particular reason to select any specific one of these many stations, meaning that this Deegan person knows something that I do not, because why single out that one
yeah. must have-
from the list? Because there's not really any, I believe, as we've discussed in the past, there's not really any order or any rhyme or reason to
the naming.
Yeah, and
the
you,
naming, the purchasing, the dates, the sizes, the nothing. It's all very, very randomized.
and also the number of just the sheer number of places makes you feel like there's very possible like nothing happened at that location. It was just bought. So the fact that it is interesting, the fact that he singled out Asimov one specifically.
I'm actually going to share my list with the rest of the group.
Yeah, do you
Be
want to
like,
just read them
Cersei
off
Lannister.
right now?
Cersei Lannister.
No, just like prop it on the table, see if they can, because the list you've given me has got locations and names, but I'm assuming that I have the dates of purchase as well and like a little bit more specs. Just in a random, can anyone else spot a pattern here that I can't see?
Sure. Yeah, you can definitely share that with people.
Out pattern the supercomputer.
I'll pattern the supercomputer. Hey, she's having a rough day or two. But yeah, that information is not actually in the Google Doc as is shared, but I don't know if we could like do a roll for it or what.
Is there a pattern matching roll?
Roll intelligence pattern.
Yeah, rolling. It's definitely like intelligence.
Notice.
Probably.
I mean, sure.
Yeah, do intelligence.
I'll try.
Notice.
I'll give it a try. I roll 3d6 and drop the lowest.
10.
That was a pretty good roll.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you.
Come on, secret pattern.
We could give you physical dice, David.
No, they're unlucky.
I must roll on the phone.
14.
Oh, okay. My apologies.
Wait.
Did you actually get a 14?
got a
Oh,
14.
wow, that
Yeah.
was pretty damn
I rolled
good.
2
Two
sixes and a
sixes.
3, yeah.
All right.
Wow. All right, so
A pattern just materializes because the roll was so good.
you guys,
It must be Bunt. Bunt this list.
Stop setting things on fire.
No one can know.
No.
so Alex and Micah, you guys take a good look at it. And Alex, you are certain without a doubt that there is no pattern here. It is a collection of random locations. It's almost as if someone had a random number generator and just like somehow was able to map that to specific locations, whether that is deep space in a specific system or on a planet. Like it is absolutely just buckshot everywhere. Obviously, when you look at the list, it's in the neighboring systems.
I've gone through a lot of bullshit papers in my life, and try to understand those. And this is an anti-pattern. There is nothing here. It's randomly generated.
So then, what did he know?
Yeah, Deacon must have been following some other kind of lead to whether it was for you in particular or not. Something else had to point him there.
What did Joyce, and Alex does finger quotes, when did she say that Deacon came through here?
I believe it was a few months ago.
A few months back, yeah.
Where did Asimov 1 go down? How long would it take to get there from here?
Everyone looks at Jeff. I don't know where I'm from. It just says deep space.
Yeah,
There's a lot of that places.
Asimov 1 is a station, or was a station, in deep space in the Magalka system. It would take no more than 2 days with a starship to get there. Yeah.
And
I
forget how old I am, but I'm pretty sure it caught on fire and went down before he could have possibly gotten there? Or do you think
you would have been you've been around for a couple of months as well. You didn't ask for specific dates. If you'd like, you could try and find Joyce.
No, we're going to find Lynn first. Then we're going to find Joyce.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we also have, and he kind of like points at the crystal. We also have that. And that means that before he came here, he found something. Right? Like this is definitive proof that he was somewhere else that had something that pointed to him.
Something blue and mysterious that I have no idea what it is.
I mean, it looks a lot like your core crystal. No, but but it might not be. I mean, it doesn't look exactly the same, right? So, but that seems like a pretty good guess to me. If he was going to the place where you're from and he had that, so suspicious character.
And also the whole wedding ring thing.
And because what's his name had that ring that like bit him or something, or he got poisoned.
Missing.
But it was on his finger. There was that other
missing wedding band, and then I think one, but there might have been multiple holes, and then just clear the whole poison like in the veins style thing. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That is correct. You saw like black veins that reach up the arm from a single puncture wound. That would be where a wedding band would rest.
Yeah, so nobody put that on.
Maybe he took it off.
If we find it.
Somebody attacked him with a needle. And if he'd had it on, he would still be alive. But,
this is like
marriage, you. It's a metaphor. No, I mean, once our business here is done, I'm perfectly happy to leave the system and look around Asimov 1, see if we can find this character. Or we can do the opposite thing and know that whichever space station he had investigated previously, it was not Asimov 1, then we could find a different one.
I'm interested in, I don't even know where one would go if, say, hypothetically, you are this individual and you are saying, yes, I'm going to this deep space station. Then you get there and it's either gone or on fire or just something bad.
Investigate the ruins.
Yeah.
Yeah, go to the places that aren't on fire.
Yeah.
Did you leave anything else there before you flew off? I mean, I know it was on fire.
A toothbrush.
I didn't leave anything of mine because I did not own anything at the time.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah, been there.
I took the space, the escape pod ship, something.
A fighter.
That, yeah.
But there weren't any like coordinates that you like left for where you were going or
distinctly not
technology. Yeah. Well, it seems like, you're going to want to try and track that dude down. Sounds maybe dangerous. I believe,
at least in one of the versions of my backstory, I did log into a computer before leaving.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
The purpose of that was, how do I fly a fighter?
Yeah.
So you downloaded like that skill set.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So did that.
So that could be something he follows, but
So
I'm
while
assuming we haven't.
we're following clues to this, he could also be following clues to me.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to you necessarily. And if Asimov 1 is as fucked as you think it is, well, actually, he might swing back around to where we were if he finds your fighter. That would take him where to Cass. And we can try to. We could. There's a couple places that we could go.
That are distinctly not on this planet, just maybe elsewhere.
That might be nice and very. But again, I think that it's been a couple months. He'd be a little shocked if he showed up a couple days ago and he was like, "Oh, I'm right here again." I'm just like, I don't know. I don't think there's anything much to do about it at this moment. As fun as it is to talk about leaving the planet.
Well, when our business here is concluded, I fully intend to follow up on this, and you all are welcome to come with if you desire, and if not, we may have to have a future conversation about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely curious. I'm invested. I want to see what. Yeah.
Solve the great robot mystery. Let's go.
Definitely love me a robot mystery. but yeah,
really, because I do not care for it in the slightest.
When we're done with what I've got to do here, is my only thing.
Great.
Yeah.
Anyway, shall we go to Jade?
Yeah, do we want to leave now?
I think.
Oh, we actually didn't discuss travel.
We did not.
We taking a boat. So the way I see it, we could do a couple of things. We could take a boat directly from here. We could fly our ship closer and then take a boat in. Or I don't actually know if this is feasible, but we do have the ATV thing that does fit all of us, and I care about it less. I personally would love to keep the ship parked somewhere that we won't have to deal with customs again, as that was not pleasant for anyone.
Yeah, I think ideally not to deal with custom, but some, mode of transport off of Jade that does not necessarily run on a timetable, and just kind of we can get on whenever we want.
Would we be able to drive our ATV thing there?
Alex would be, and Micah to some extent would probably be familiar with Jade. Obviously, I talked about how it was kind of a bunch of different islands that are all connected.
Well, yes, we do eventually
bridges.
need to get on a boat. This is understood.
Right. It sounded like to me you wanted to fly somewhere elsewhere and then drive there. Is that not what you were saying?
No, I'm saying leaving the ship here and then drive there, just because free parking.
Yeah, if you leave the ship here and just take one of the boats that the Calvin Estate has, you can do that.
We have boats.
They have boats. Why are we having that whole discussion?
I'm going to shoot a text to Freya. Do you think Captain Smokey does intercontinental travel?
Please, dear God, no.
She says back, yeah, if you really want to he's based in Breeze, but he can definitely move elsewhere.
All right, everybody, back in the barrels.
Just figured out options. Thanks, babe. Night.
Thanks, babe. Hey, you up? We need to talk about naval travel.
Thinking about Smokey.
Fantastic. Okay. Anyway, yeah, that's fine. We'll take a boat. We're leaving the ship here.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's do the boat. Yeah. Okay. I'll cross that off the list.
Yeah. Good job.
Claire speaks up. Are we going to have to get back in the barrels?
I don't think so.
I think we could just take a boat.
Yeah, we can just take one of these, I guess.
I've not done much boat travel before. Is it standard for people to just need to be in barrels?
No, we were sneaking out.
No.
Okay. That's what I thought.
I
Just checking.
We'll be fine without the barrels.
Fantastic.
I didn't mind the barrel.
Anyway,
Right,
how about so why don't we head out like first thing in the morning?
Sure.
Gonna get some sleep before our big excursion.
In that case, I'm gonna go see if I can find Lynn.
I would love to sleep. I would also follow you to go find Lynn if you're doing that.
Completely up to you. Do you want to get
absolutely.
to bed there, buddy?
No.
All right, yeah.
I
So
feel like I wouldn't be able to sleep either way.
if we're gonna set out bright and early, yeah.
For those of you with the long pause, it's drugs. You can't sleep because there's drugs.
For those of us who are physically able to sleep, yeah.
So Alex and Nona are going out to talk to Lynn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Lynn would have introduced you guys to the cabins, as well as probably told you, hey, I'll be here if you guys need to reach out to me. So you don't need to ask around. You know exactly where she is. When you come up to her, she actually has one of the apartments that are actually built into the side of the cliffside. And you knock on the door. There's light inside. Someone's awake. And
what time are we talking here? We like rude neighbors knocking on the door like 9-10 p.m.
A little bit, yeah.
Cool.
That's the around where you're knocking.
Nona does not realize this. I just want to know for my internal cringing.
That's fair. Alex, are you aware of this?
Yeah, fully.
Don't care.
There are mysteries that must be solved.
And Lynn opens the door. She has taken off her lab coat. She just has like a turtleneck sweater underneath. And she answers the door and says,
Oh, you're indecent.
hey. Let me put my lab coat back on.
You put the goggles
I'm so
on.
sorry.
Yeah, put the goggles on.
Ready for NPC conversation. Engage.
Yeah. Well, what can I help with you guys with?
Hi. Apologies for bothering you, but I was just wondering, we ran into, I believe, a relative of yours, Joyce,
Oh,
earlier today.
yeah. Aunt Joyce, she reached out to you?
Yes, she was telling me about a man named Deacon who was on a very similar knowledge quest as myself.
Oh, I wasn't here when that all happened. I was still in Breeze, but yeah, okay.
I was just wondering, how did she know where to come find me, and if there was anyone else I could speak to about Deacon?
Yeah, I could like knock on the door and see if Aunt Joyce is awake if you want to talk to her a little bit more.
You haven't spoken to her about us?
Oh, no,
I think
I
she
mentioned
mentioned
in passing that, and she sort of regathers herself. Aunt Joyce is one of those people that really likes knowing the history of the family. And
That's nice.
Takes great pride in it. So when people also have interest in it, she takes an interest. So I brought up the fact that you were looking into our great aunt.
Sure.
Don't know if that's that many greats. Anyway, our ancestor, and she seemed interested. I guess she reached out to you guys. I haven't heard of this deacon or his visit.
Is there anybody else who would have been here a few months ago?
Yeah,
That might have more
there's a bunch
information?
of people around. Joyce being one of them.
Mm-hmm.
My mother would also have been here, but she doesn't care too much for the past. Says it clouds the future.
Deep.
Weird thing to say.
Alex can't relate.
Yeah, so I could talk to or have like her talk to you like tomorrow morning or something if you guys want to talk to her.
Yeah, I obviously don't want to wake up anyone if they're sleeping. It was just more of a...
Oh, she's a night owl. She won't be asleep until like 1.
In that case, I would love to speak.
Yeah, she's a
speak
weird
with her.
old lady. Yeah, no. She's
rude.
She's a couple doors down if you'd like to talk to her. Yeah.
Great. Cool. We'll check that last
Would
thing
you like
off
me
the
to
list.
go with you or?
I don't want to bother you if you seem to have
No,
turned
no.
in for the night.
No,
But
not
you're
at all.
welcome to join.
Let's go. And she closes the door. Before she leaves, she just yells back to Roscoe, who obviously is somewhere within the house, that she's going out for a walk with a couple of people, and she'll be back in a bit.
I'm just now picturing us doing like one of those go to this house and then go to this house. And every time we do, we just collect another person until we just have a mob. Like, do, where's Deacon?
Where's Rachel?
Angry people with torches and pitchforks.
Yeah, no, I got you. She takes you to another one of the cottages that are, well, not cottages, the apartments that are built into the ravine. A couple of doors down, lights are still on. She knocks on the door, and the same old lady that dropped by before answers the door and says, "Oh, hello, Lynn and Nona, and I'm sorry I never got your names, sir."
Alex.
Alex. How can I help you?
First of all, I would like to say thank you for letting me know about Dean. I've been thinking about this, and I'm starting to realize I think he found something that I didn't, because I, as you called out, very similar research, and I have this list of a lot of places, and I can't see what made him want to go to Asimov 1 over the rest of these things on this extensive list. It's not the closest, it's not the largest, it's not the most recently purchased. I feel like I'm missing something, and I've been told you're interested in history and all that, and I was wondering if maybe you could help me spot it.
I was interested as well. You see, not many people know of the estate here. He found it somehow. He never said how. Just was very interested in Dr. Calvin and her research. When I asked what exactly he was looking for, he said like these particular stations. He knew about Asimov 1 before he even looked into any of our documentation around all of that.
Interesting.
Then he headed out just a couple of days later, saying thank you and actually giving us quite a sizable amount of credits.
Oh. Did you get a last name? Is Deacon a first name? Last name?
Never got a last name, just Deacon.
Oh.
Is there anything else he particularly did while here? Anybody in addition to yourself that he spoke with, or?
And at this, she thinks a little bit. Other than studying in the library, he helped fix a couple of the boats. He was definitely good with technology, it seemed. Bit of a mechanic himself.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Sorry for all the questions. There's not a lot of people in this field of research, so it's nice to come across somebody there, and hopefully we can talk to him at some point.
Yeah. That certainly would be nice. And return his pouch.
Oh yes, he seemed to he wore that along with his wedding ring as well. He must have left it when he left. What was that? Probably. And she says a specific date that I don't have on me right now.
Fine. We'll put together a timetable later.
Whoa, that blew it right open.
Wow,
I understand.
Everything.
The Terran data 3:15.
Yes.
And
the year of Baba.
What I'm trying to get a point across, Nona, you realize that is only a few days before you woke up. He had ample time to
have been there before
everything went down.
That bastard, and he didn't even wake me up. How rude. Real quick question for the GM. The pouch that is worn around the neck, is the string broken? Is there like any reason why somebody would like, clearly it's very important to him. Is there any reason like, oh no, it fell off while he was getting on the ship and leaving?
No. In talking with Joyce, it sounded like it was in the dresser. So
sure.
Maybe he takes it off when going to sleep or something like that, and never put it back on.
Okay. But he didn't forget to put back on the wedding ring necklace.
Yeah.
Speaking as someone who wears a lot of jewelry, you don't really keep your necklaces that far away from each other. This is suspicious. To Kirsten, not Nona. Nona knows nothing about jewelry.
That's fair.
Anyhow, cool, great. So I think in that case, I am probably going to, honestly, probably just say goodnight, pretend like I'm going to bed, and then wander down and go look at the boats, given that we're planning on taking those tomorrow anyway.
All right, yeah.
Doop doop doop.
I assume you'd talk with Lynn about maybe borrowing one of the boats.
Yes, most definitely.
She's fine with it.
Hooray!
Great.
We had
So
that.
good.
Don't need to RP that whole thing.
We don't need. We also I can't get over the fact that we so did not need to plan out walking across the bottom of the river that one time.
We could just walk all the way to Jade.
You guys can. I'll stay here.
Okay, cool, great. Yes, boats.
So that was all for the day, right? That's
Yeah.
all the things that you
Just
wanted
checking
to do.
out the boats.
Yeah, I
Yep.
want before we go to sleep. I'm gonna go look at boats.
Cool. So yeah, the boats. There's a bunch of different kinds. You would pick probably one that had a deck below, such that you guys could maybe stop and sleep. Although I guess Nona doesn't need to do that, and Alex to some extent, but not everyone knows that.
We want a below deck to get out of the
Yeah.
elements.
Yeah,
if we
exactly.
need to.
So it's not just like a rowboat or a motorboat.
Mhm.
This is a little bit of a bigger boat that you do promise to bring back. I guess you kind of have the ship as collateral because if
Yeah.
you don't come back, then they have a ship.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I'm going to do the standard take the launch codes, double lock the doors until the thing beeps, all of that standard jazz. It's being put into a parking garage.
Are you guys leaving tonight or
No. We're leaving tomorrow. I'm just trying to get a sense of which boat we want to take for tomorrow. If there's
Yeah.
any that I'm like particularly like, oh yes, this boat will be good at things. Given my minor obsession with vehicles, but also looking for, given that there was mention of, oh, this person helped fix some of these, looking for signs of that, looking for like
Sure.
just
like-
that general sort of like, do any of these seem like they were broken away and like patched up in any sort of jury rigged way? It's a long shot. It's
do an
probably
intelligence
not.
fix check.
Heck yeah.
And Micah, you can do this as well because I think you also have fix, right?
Wait, Mike
don't think
is
Michael's there.
not
Yeah.
here.
Oh, never mind. I thought you guys were going out and doing that together.
No.
Yeah.
You've already retired for the night.
I was going to go to bed. They went to talk to Lynn. We're scoping out ships.
Yeah, sure.
I could be
swing back
roused for
by and
that.
tell
No,
you-
yeah, I was
tell you
gonna
what's
say
up.
on the way over, Alex would text Micah and be like,
Hey, you
talk
up?"
to Lynn. Joyce exists. Getting a boat now. And then like I send that, and then like a moment later, another text that's just like, "Is Claire asleep? Like, is she okay?"
Claire's asleep.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. I'll
11.
get out of bed. Yeah, I got an 8.
Yeah. So, Micah, what you're able to parse from the different boats, that there are obviously the bigger it gets, the harder it is to maneuver. There is one in particular that seems to have enough underground, like underneath deck. It's not super like spacious. It would be like you guys are only staying there like a night, maybe two, but you would have to like throw out cots. It's only like one room with like a little kitchenette and stuff like that. But it would probably be the best one when it comes to speed, maneuverability, as well as having something underneath. Nona, you take a closer look at some of these things. You get all of the same thing. You do notice there are a couple of these boats that it's not like any of them are run down, but there are a few of them that you would assume Deacon may have worked on that are in pristine condition. Like they are beautifully fixed up. Like the components that were added into it are practically like pre-tech levels of niceness. So he clearly knows his stuff and has access to like very nice scrap in order to fix these things up the way that he did.
Cool. He got the good scrap.
Yeah, that good pre-tech scrap.
Fantastic. Love it. Okay, cool.
So
And so that's on the ship that I think is probably best for us to use.
That is one
one
of
of them?
the ships. Because of the almost upgrades at this point, you would both agree that this is probably the best ship for you guys to do.
I mean, I'm kind of suspicious of using any boat that this guy touched because we don't really know his angle, but this will probably get us there the
I don't think
fastest.
he knows his angle either. Would be my suspicion. It's not I'm going to fix this in a subpar way such that the people following me that I don't know exist. Maybe do know exist.
Yeah.
I do not care for mysteries.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's probably for the best. We can take
Also,
this.
I do have a fix, so hopefully if there was at least obvious or semi-obvious sabotage.
There's nothing to lead you to believe that obviously the only nefarious thing that he may have done is the fact that he could have gotten to Asimov 1 before all that shit went down. So there's a possibility that he may have been a cause of that. But everything he's done here, like Joyce seems to speak to him like glowingly, like he like left money here as a sort of like a token of thanks. He fixed up several ships. So and
he set my space station on fire. So, you know,
if we
allegedly.
Yeah, with the data points we have currently.
But if we suspect that that's that one wedding ring, then that also means he made it to Glazov 5 and
it's true.
Well, there was the airlock thing. So that's suspicious.
I would just like to point out that
there was like a jump that happened, right?
There was a jump, so not many people would know where it is. And Quinn did say that Dr. Samantha Calvin visited afterwards and went to see
him. So reasonable point. She could have taken the wedding ring first, which would mean that he found her.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
So there's options. So many options.
So
the mysterious legendary deacon.
My vote for boat is the are you Calvin or out? I think that's my favorite boat.
That's a good boat.
What did you call it?
It's that one. It's written right there.
It's
that's
right
what
across
the boat
the
is.
stern.
Are you Calvin or out? I think that's a good boat.
Oh God.
It is the same boat that Micah and Nona have identified as being the best boat for your purposes.
Love it when just all the stars align like that, don't you?
Yeah, I love it. We're all on the same page. That's so great, team.
I also like the Orsimian. It's SCA. That's pretty good. But I like that. Yeah, this one wins. Okay, well,
Cool.
Sick.
Great.
All right.
I think that's enough of things for the night. I think we're gonna go to bed or go to bed. Someone, the case may be. And
yep. And head out. Crack of dawn. Sound good to you?
Yeah, always.
So everyone retires. Nona and Alex obviously unable or unwilling to sleep. Claire and Micah unaware of this fact. Do you guys do anything during the night? Anything in particular interesting?
Alex lays down in bed for a while, and then failing that, grabs like towels and a blanket and goes out into the grass outside and like lays down and stares up like that.
Looking up at the stars.
Just looking up at the stars.
Yeah. Well, I was planning on. I'm researching psychics.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Trying to, just gather a buttload of information about that in case my deception skill is needed once again. I'm fully prepping against Devas here. Like,
it's clear that Devas knows you're not a psychic. Ellie is not a psychic either. I don't think. I'm not sure if that was specifically mentioned. But like there are people who help that are non-psychics. So the reason why he was interested in the fact that you were not a psychic was the reason, like you could hear and understand the word.
Yes. And I'm worried about him knowing that I'm not a psychic that can do that is a little bit too close to comfort.
That's fair.
For maybe she's not human, which I want to direct people away from. And like, again, Hammer... Everything looks like a nail. This worked great for me with the one customs officer person. Mm-hmm. Or no, they were specifically a silence operative.
They were a silence operative trying to investigate.
So I'm just
everything.
Prepping to do that again.
All right. Yeah.
Like, yes, I am a psychic. Did you know that psychics were originally like
robots?
100%. And it's probably not going to work, but I don't think Nona knows that.
Oh,
yet.
yeah.
Like,
you're putting together your options.
I have one trick.
It's stupid.
It's not stupid. It's great.
All right.
Yeah, but anyway, so I'll be doing that. I don't think I will probably notice Alex this evening.
No.
So you guys have a restful or at least very meditative night. You wake up the next day. Isis and the group are going to be getting on the Grav flyer along with Devas and Ellie, and they're going to be flying to Ostia, specifically to try and get closer to Principa and investigate where Vaughn's being held and what the sort of protections are there. And you guys start to prepare going to your boat. Is there anything you guys want to say to them before you head out, Micah, specifically?
No, I think we're pretty comfortable splitting up, regrouping. We do that kind of stuff all the time. So
It always works out so well.
yeah, it's no.
Sorry.
I'll just give him a little send off, but nothing in particular.
Yeah, Isis will go up to you, Mike, and say, we'll let you know if we know where Vaughn is and what that all is about. Let us know if you know where Vaughn was and what all that was about.
Yeah. We'll be in touch.
All right. She gives you a good slap
Cool.
on the shoulder.
Yep, I will reciprocate of the slap.
He does it again harder.
Boy.
Putting a little bit of telekinetic power behind it, which moves you slightly.
We do this all the time.
Oh, no.
Wow, you people sure like hitting each other.
It's a thing we do.
She chuckles at that and goes to...
I turn and hit Alex.
My arm. Alex drops like a napkin that has like a meeting place and then like a backup meeting place and like a backup for the group. It's like, I'll just bun this.
And so you guys are getting ready to hop on your boat and travel to Jade. And
Heck
we will
yeah.
go to Jade next episode.
Woo! Oh, you're covered in the
Are you Calvin?
that was pretty good.
Yeah.
There was a couple. If you listen back, there's a couple moments of just silence where I'm like,
You were
"What is
thinking, I need this.
what's it? Corsia? That's pretty good.
Unloading.
I was getting around.
I like that.
Pretty
one.
proud of it.
I like that.
Pull out a folded brochure that's obviously been well worn and stuff like that. The hell was that?